YouTube viewers, welcome to the Studer A820 restoration video series. If you saw the last part, I actually took all the front cards out of the card cage and cleaned the cards and just basically went over them so they were perfect like that. Now, they were pretty dirty. If you looked at that video, you'd see that there was a lot of dirt came out of them, which kind of got me worried because that meant there's a lot of dirt in the slots of the card cage. And so because of that, I couldn't sleep without taking that card cage apart. And on top of that, there's some capacitors that are mounted on the back plane edge connectors, or not edge connectors, but on the back plane circuit boards where the edge connectors are. And those capacitors are pretty much, you can't get to them unless you take this thing apart. So this week what we're going to do is we're going to take that card cage right out so I can get to those circuit boards and clean them and replace the capacitors on there. So let's have a look at how this is done now. So I have removed the screws in the front of the card cage. There was 3 here, and I removed these screws. I believe there was 5 here in the back. Also removed the latch. Okay. And the card cage is loose, okay, but it ain't going to come out till I disconnect all these wires. And so I'm going to have to take this card back out again, power supply indicators. Take off all these cards, this card right here off the side, so I can get all these connectors, because I want to get this up far enough to remove this backboard here and here, because all the dirt, and there's capacitors that are in between these card cages mounted to this board and this board. So I'm literally going to have to take apart everything you see here. And you're going to have to take some pretty good pictures to get it back together, because as you could see, like here, this connector's plugged in here, but not there. And you go down, there's a missing connector here that's not plugged in. So, you know, same thing goes on over in here. So it's a little complicated how this is all plugged in. Another one here. It's plugged into the top, not to there's like 2 more below it. So I'm going to take very good notes and pictures before disassembling this. And I'll get back to you as soon as I've got this all disassembled. We'll go back and look at that coming out so we could actually see if we can get to all this stuff here. All right? So in doing this, I actually came up with a better idea. Since all these ribbons are actually cut to length, in other words, the ribbon to the left only could go there, the one to the right like there, if I tie wrap them all together into a bundle, you won't be able to misplug them into anything. They'll go into the same spot. So watch, if I put a tie wrap right here, that's going to hold all those 8 connectors in the same exact spot that they should be. And they won't have a problem. I'll just put a tie wrap in another spot for the other ones, and etc., etc. So that's actually what I'm going to do here. I'm going to tie wrap them all together in different places, and then I'm just going to have these little looms. I'll pull the looms out of the way, and when I bring them back in, they can only plug into the connector that they reach to. I thought that was much better than just labeling this stuff. So here you can see I've tie wrapped all those ribbons into a loom basically, and I've pulled it back out of the way after unplugging it all. So it's all in the back now. But when I bring it forward, like I said, in the end, it's got to go into one spot. You can't miss it. It should be a no-brainer. Okay, so after releasing all those wires and stuff up there, folding them back into the back section, okay, I'm able to get the card cage up, but over here in this corner, there's just a couple of wires stopping it from coming up any higher than this. These wires right here. Now, I don't want to unsolder them. They're in there, and they go down in there. These should be going, they should be going around through here and around. But I don't want to unsolder them, so we're going to leave them there. And what I've done is I brought the card cage up, and this is the bottom of the card cage right here, and I've fastened it to this bar going across here. So really it should be the top of the cage should down below that, but I've fastened that to there, and I fastened it on this side, and then I just got a little tie wrap up here holding this back up so you can see it like that. Now this is going to gain me, I can gain access with my hand around here and release these screws. So you see here I've got the top ones off. I'm just doing the bottom ones now, but I thought I'd show you what's going on, how I'm getting this card cage out of here. So what you're looking at, the card cage here should be down here. All right. So where these boxes are, they're there propping it up. The card cage should be down there. So the card cage is actually raised up right now. Okay. So I can get access to those circuit boards. In fact, there's a good shot there. You can see those caps that I'm talking about that are back there. And I think after all this fuss, I probably should replace those caps. You see there's some more backing on this side too. So in any case, that's where I'm at right now. I'll let you get back to you when I got that card removed. Well, I can tell you that this was a project. This thing was not really, this was put together and not meant to come apart. But here is the card cage, finally out of the machine, totally. Giving me access into those cards. I have the other card out on the thing, and here's the one that was still attached with the wires. Here. So I'd like to clean this card, and maybe we'll change these caps just because this is such an effort to get this apart. So this isn't going to go any farther than where it's at here, because this is where we're going to work on it at. But as you can see, there's quite a lot of shit in there. And we're going to work on that. Okay. All right, this is the right-hand board. You can see because the DC power goes in here. Then it, besides getting distributed to the individual cards, it's going to go branch from here over to the other board and supply power to all those card slots. So this took a lot to get these two boards out of there and to get this card cage out. So I'm going to replace these caps just because it took me hours and hours to get this out of here. If one of these was bad, I don't want to go back in here again. So these, I just ordered them. Unfortunately, being axial lead caps, in other words, they come out, the leads come out of each end. That's an axial lead, versus when they both come out of the same end, which is a radial lead. But being axial lead caps, these are kind of like old antiquated ideas. They don't use these very much anymore. And they're hard to find. So there's only one distributor that I know of that has these things, which is Mauser Electronics. And so I got them on order, and when I get them in, I'm going to replace these here. There's 4 of them that are 470 microfarads, and one is 1,000 microfarads. On the other board, there is 4 470s and 2 thousands. So I'm going to replace all the caps, just because, like I said, this is just too hard to get into this board. And I don't want to have to do this ever again at this point. So, I've got everything apart, and we'll be back in a week or two when I get all the caps in and we're putting this all back together. Well, I hope you enjoyed how that was done, because that was not an easy task. It's going to be a couple of weeks because I got those caps coming in and I got a couple other projects going on, but it'll be a few weeks before I get back to it. So don't worry if you don't see a video coming out. I am still working on this machine. I will be recapping that board, and I'll get you to show you back after I've recapped it, show you back assembling that whole thing in there. So again, thank you very much for viewing the videos. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed them. And if you ring the bell, I'll notify you on the next one coming out. So, without further ado, take care, and we'll see you in a few weeks.